May this message lead you to a deep reflection on the processes and tools of self-transformation provided by the renowned Yogi Sadhguru. If you want to start your yoga journey with Sadhguru, click on the link in the description of this video and learn more.
You heard of Bernard Shaw? Not heard of Bernard Shaw? The drummer, the playwright? Okay. A new playwright who wrote a play and directed it invited Shaw to come and watch his play. Shaw went, sat there. Within a few minutes he slept off. When the play was over, the young artist or the young writer came to Shaw and said, "I invited you because I wanted your comments, this is my first play." Bernard Shaw looked at him and said, "Sleep is a comment." So you are not sleeping well or you are sleeping well, it is a commentary on your life. There is another kind of dream which is not really a dream. Now, there is Bhairavi here. She is a dream, we dreamed her up. You dream it up in such a way that it becomes a reality. Or in other words, this is a dream to establish your consciousness and your energy in a certain way. I was mentioning the other day also, down under in Australia, the Aborigine people call the time of creation as dream time. Creator dreamed it up. In India, we call this Maya or illusion, or an illusion can be called a dream, isn't it? It's called dream time. The time of creation is referred to as dream time. We say, Leela, he's playing with, Creator is weaving his Maya and playing around. The words Leela and Maya describe creation in the most appropriate manner, because that's how it is. And the whole science of what we are referring to as Tantra is just this, that you dream up something and slowly you bring it into reality. First you create it here and slowly roll it out and it becomes a reality. All deities were made like this. For a particular purpose, they created it here and rolled it out, and it's as real as anything. In everybody's experience, not just if it's true only in your experience, it could still be a dream. When your dream becomes a living experience for everybody, that's reality, isn't it? Not because you're trying to influence them by suggestion, not because you're trying to hypnotize them with a powerful suggestion. You need not know anything. You walk into the Devi temple, it hits you in the face. You don't have to believe anything, because now she's reality. But just 2-3 years ago, she was just a dream. So this dream, now a manifest reality. And all of us happened like that. It's a dream which found a physical expression in a certain way. But without using any material, you can give an expression to a dream. It is not really a dream, this is creation. This is how the whole creation has happened. If you can play with the illusion, when I say play with the illusion, suppose I can play with a ball. There is no ball, but I start playing. If we do this intensely enough, after some time, there will be a ball. Not that we have to get a ball from somewhere. If you do this, actually you can feel something bouncing around. Not just in my experience, whoever comes here, they can feel the ball. So this is creation. And that also is rooted in your dream, because if you cross the boundaries of sanchita, then you're touching the dimension, that which is the source of creation. There, if mind can function, usually when you touch it, mind will be so overwhelmed unless it's trained that it just becomes poof. This probably some people are describing as no mind. You go into a zone or a space where the moment you come in the presence of an energy which is beyond your understanding, you freeze. This cannot be termed confusion. It's a state where mind will not exist unless it has gone through a certain level of preparedness. So when you come in front of, or let's say in traditional terms, you would say, now you faced God. Now your mind is frozen. What a waste, isn't it? So much you need to get there. When you get there, you're frozen. It's still useful, but if your mind is trained enough, if there is substantial sadhana behind you, when you cross that place where there is no memory, right now, your mind exists the way it exists only because there is memory, you understand? When you cross that boundary where the terrain of memory is over, only of perception is there, most minds, I would say 99.999, you can put as many nines as you want, that much percentage of the minds will be frozen if they have no memory to operate. These minds are operating only of existing memory. If memory is taken away, they will not know how to do anything. What you're doing as yoga is to train the mind, train the mind, train the mind to a place where tomorrow if memory falls down, your whole karmic structure just fell down, still you have a mind. Then, if your body falls down, that means if you fall dead, you still have a mind. Now you can navigate yourself where you want, otherwise you go by your tendencies. So these are four types of dreams. The last one you cannot really call it a dream. It is… what to say? It is the other bank. It is not this bank, it is the other bank of existence. So, one thing that I must tell you as advice is, whatever the dream, learn to ignore it. Because if you start looking for meanings in dream, you will lose meaning for your life. You will become hallucinatory. All these things can be quelled from within if only we are willing to pay a certain level of attention to the innermost dimension of who we are. These things can be altered just by bringing about a certain balance in the system, activating a certain level of inner energy. The inner engineering process is just about this, that you find access to this deepest dimension of intelligence and competence within ourselves, which is capable of generating this body, creating this body from what kind of material? If you eat a piece of bread, it turns into human system in a few hours' time. So there is that dimension of intelligence and competence within this. If only you found access to that. Health is not even something that you have to struggle with. You know what this is? This is called a Rudraksh, okay? Rudraksh as a seed, this tree mainly grows at certain altitude. Somewhere between 6,500 to 12,000 altitude is where Rudraksh grows in the Himalayan region. And it has very unique vibrations. It brings down the blood pressure in your system, your nerves will be calm. There are various types of Rudraksh, from a single-faced Rudraksh to 21 faces. These are for specific purposes. For people who are in family and social situations, the best thing to wear is always the five-faced Rudraksh. These are called Panchamukhis. A five-faced Rudraksh, if you see, there'll be grooves, you can count the faces. Five-faced Rudraksh is the best one.
Intelligence which is simply exploding into everything possible. If you're in rhythm with it, you will rise. If you're not in rhythm with it, it'll crush you. It has no love, it has no compassion, it has no intention of helping you, it has no intent of harming you, it has no nothing. If you understand the forces and ride it, you have a fantastic life. If you do not understand, it'll crush you. You've seen people doing surfboarding on the waves in the ocean. It is such a magical thing, just riding the waves. But if you don't do it right, if you go into the waves, it's like being in a concrete mixer, it'll just do that and it'll kill you. So one rides the wave, another gets crushed by the wave, that is all that's happening. The rest is all human interpretations. This is the first thing we have to stop, that we do not extend our thought and emotion to the existence. This is relevant between you and me. This is relevant between you and your family members. You love them, I love you, you love me, all this fine. Don't look up at the sky and say, I love you. It will not say, I love you back, because it has no such need. It's pure existence. This is what you have to become. If you sit here, you are a complete existence by yourself. This is a full-fledged life. It does not need anything from anybody. It has everything. It is connected with everything in the universe. It does not need anything. But we want to play our games, okay, we can do all this stuff, but you need to understand right now, we are trying to extend our compulsions to the whole creation. It doesn't work like that. Existence is not trying to help you. You may be in tune with it, bingo, you are. Whether you got in tune with it consciously or unconsciously, somehow you got in tune. That's why Shankara said, yogaratova bhogaratava. That means somehow you do it, I don't care. Your Shankara, Adi Shankara went to the extent of somehow you do it. You get it, man, that's important. How you get it, who cares?
Sadhguru, I am constantly torn between my senior colleagues who are extremely skilled surgeons. Sadhguru, on the heart, there are some procedures which are done by very few people on this planet. I'll give an example. I do an operation called pulmonary endarterectomy. That's the blood clots from the leg goes to the lung arteries and it clogs up all the arteries. So 25 years ago, there was no cure for this. And once you're diagnosed, you're destined to die within a year. Today, people who are on home oxygen for 2 years, 3 years, you do the operation, they can go back to skydiving or they can go to scuba diving. That's the transformative effect. But there are only 50 surgeons, less than 50 surgeons in this world who can operate. And like this, we have some of my colleagues who are extremely gifted surgeons. They are in their 50s now. And some of them are constantly talking about retirement. Especially one surgeon who is an extremely gifted surgeon who can fix any damaged valve. He is single, he has no other commitments. Every other day he talks about going to Benares or somewhere and retire, and I keep telling him that God didn't create him to retire and meditate. He has to be fixing all these problems. So he gives me extension every 6 months, Guruji. So at the end of 6 months, the usual rigmarole starts. He talks about retirement. and everybody is depressed in the hospital. So how do you deal with this kind of people?
You must give him a 1-year sabbatical with me. Yes, because the need or the idea of retirement enters anybody's mind because of the monotony of what they're doing, whatever it may be. Somebody else may think it's a great thing, but in your experience, somewhere it's becoming monotonous or stagnant. Stagnation is one thing that human intelligence and human system cannot take, and most of the ailments are because of stagnation of life. They may be getting their, once in 3 years promotion, they may be making little more money, all these things may be happening. But somewhere experientially there is a stagnation, which could be a major cause for many of the complex ailments that people manufacture within their systems. The more complex they get, you try to create more talented surgeons. I'm saying we are manufacturing the problems, we are trying to manufacture a solution. I think as we offer solutions, people who have already gotten into problems, they need solution. But it's very important that we teach people how not to create these problems, so that instead of 50, you have to produce 5,000 expert surgeons to attend to all these people who are on self-help to illness. So I would say a surgeon who has a certain competence and who has worked through his life, if he wants to explore something of his own nature, that would be the greatest thing to do, because he's not a man without commitment, not competence. When competence and commitment is there, you should not run him through the rigmarole and destroy that possibility. It's important that he explores something of his own nature, which will make him… we don't know what he'll come up with. You cannot even estimate what he may come up with.
I've spoken in the prisons, I've spoken in many places. So you're here willingly. You're doing something willingly is the fundamental of your joy, isn't it so? Hello? However simple or stupid or idiotic activity it is, I'm doing something willingly, makes a world of difference, isn't it so? Hello? The difference between heaven and hell is just this: you're doing something willingly, that's your heaven. You're doing something unwillingly, that's your hell. We have already taken on attitudes, what we like and what we don't like. I like this person, I don't like this person. Now with this person I will do things willingly, with this person I'll do things unwillingly. This may be two people, two aspects of life, two communities, to nations, to many things. This I will do willingly, this I do unwillingly. This means I've decided in my mind, this is good, this is bad. When I hear even on national news channels, good guys and bad guys, it just… once you have this kind of thing, you are going to be disastrous to the planet, it's just a question of time. The moment you decide, this is a good person, this is a bad person, this has gone deep into American society. No, there are no good people and bad people. Everybody is oscillating between the two. If you create a very pleasant, wonderful atmosphere, everybody behaves wonderfully. If you create an unpleasant atmosphere, a whole lot of people act nasty. Yes or no? There are joyful people and miserable people, but there are no good people and bad people.
That's big.
The moment we think we are good, we are entitled to destroy the bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, we've been destroying a lot of people for a long time. Time to stop that, because human beings are in different levels of experience and understanding, variety of people. Anybody who is not like you is obviously bad, isn't it? Isn't it so?
Those who are not like me must be bad people. Because the basis of goodness and what you think is goodness is decided by you. No, you have no business to do that. Willing means this, I'm just willing. I'm 100% yes to life. I am not yes to this one, no to this one, no. I am just yes and yes to life. If you are 100% yes to life, you are a volunteer.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You have become a willing life. You have become so willing that you have no will of your own. People ask me, Sadhguru, how do you operate with all these people? All kinds of horrible questions they're asking, they're doing this, they're doing that. I said, my life is not about them, it's about me. It's about how I am. It's about me. It doesn't matter how they are, that's their choice. But how I am is my choice, this is my way. No matter what they do, I'm like this. Because I have not given that freedom to anybody that somebody can freak me, somebody can make me angry, somebody can make me happy, somebody can make me unhappy. These privileges I kept to myself. It's time you do that too. Because if somebody else can decide what can happen within you right now, isn't this the ultimate slavery? Huh? Isn't this? Someone else can decide what should happen within you. What happens around you, of course, so many people decide. What happens around us is not 100% ours. But what happens within me must be my making, isn't it? Right now, just about anybody can freak anybody because they're not volunteers, they're unwilling. Volunteering means you have no will of your own, you can do whatever is needed. You know, we are a volunteer organization, this means all kinds of people. Most of them are not qualified for the jobs that they're doing. And I cannot fire them because they're volunteers. So people keep coming up to me on a daily basis, Sadhguru, I can't work with this person, she's so horrible, I can't do it. I tell them, see, in this world, this is the sort of people who exist, like this, like this, like this, like this is the kind of people there are. But if you want to work with ideal people, you must go to heaven. And today.
Today.
But if you think what you're doing is very significant, you must learn to work with all these horrible people. This is how the world is. If you think what you're doing is very significant, you learn to work with all kinds of people. You will see horrible people will do wonderful things. Yes?
Yes, yes.
But if you want to work with ideal people, you won't find any. I haven't found one yet. All kinds of mixed bags.
Yes.
But if you are willing that you are not yes and no, yes to one, no to another, you're simply one big yes, you will find a way.
Thank you so much. That I always say that it's the resistance to life. Visionary Women is a volunteer-run organization, and I know that every single person who is here is giving their time to one organization or another. And the fact that you have 9 million volunteers, and you were talking about the relationship between volunteerism and willingness, and that it's through willingness that you uplift your consciousness, if I'm quoting you correctly, or I'm understanding it. In some ways talking about how it could be a doorway to becoming a bigger person than who you are.
See, before we come to women, first thing is visionary. What a vision means is, say everybody has desires. Desire is an incremental way of enhancing our life. Today you desire, I must have a home, tomorrow you desire, I must have this money, tomorrow you desire something else. These are incremental ways of arranging and rearranging our lives, which are needed to do a few things. When you say, I'm a visionary, what you're saying is, I have a larger desire, which is not about just incremental improvement of my life. Desire is about me always. Vision is an all-inclusive process. So, this itself is a phenomenal thing. If people, instead of having desires, if they have a vision, vision is always all-inclusive. Desire is personal. Desire leads to incremental changes and improvements. Vision can transform the whole situation. I like music. So, about willingness, because you said you're a volunteer organization, to be a volunteer. A volunteer means somebody who is doing something willingly, right? There's no other compulsion. There are no financial compulsions, there are no social compulsions, there is no something else. You want to do something willingly. So when you're a willing participant, right now, you're a volunteer. I'm asking all of you, right now, are you compelled to be here or are you here voluntarily? Oh, thank you. Because I've spoken to conscripted people also.
Is what means focus to you, and which way can we apply focus in our daily life? So what's your definition of focus?
Okay. There are many ways to describe this word. Instead of saying focus, if you use the word attention, would you agree that attention and focus are about the same thing? There is a little difference. There are nuances to it, but when you say focus, it's just like focusing a light on something means only a focus is always a spot. Attention can be much more widespread. See, right now, if you have clear vision, I'm having problems seeing the young man because you kept him in darkness there in the hall But if the hall was well lit, I don't have to focus myself to see the people who are sitting here. I just need attention. If I'm attentive, I will see all the people here the way they are. But now I get interested in this one young man, then I need focus. If I had only focus without the general attention about everything around me, indiscriminate attention I'm talking about, attention not even about something, just being attentive only because there is a certain level of attention and awareness within you, you even know that you exist. Otherwise, let's say in sleep, in your experience, neither the world exists nor you exist, all that's happened is there is no attention. Because there is no attention, there is no perception of any kind. Needs to go beyond our species. This is very, very important. This is yoga. Yoga means union, that you experience everything as a part of yourself. If this experience doesn't happen to more and more people, especially if this experience doesn't happen to people who hold responsible positions in the world, we as a generation will be opening up a threshold of destruction which is very difficult to turn back. I am deeply involved in this, I have been in touch with various scientists, United Nations organizations. Everywhere it's very clear that if we do something significant to turn this back in the next 15 to 20 years, things will turn around in 40 to 60 years' time. But if you let it go, these 20 years, go business as usual, then if you try to turn it back, it may take 200 years to turn it back. So, right now, either we correct this consciously or nature will correct it in a very cruel way. Lot of people, already environmentalists, not virologists, environmentalists have started talking and saying the present pandemic also is one of the outcomes of this environmental disaster that we are unleashing upon ourselves. So conscious planet is… because as I see, there's really no problem on this planet. There is only one problem, the human being. There is no other problem. If you fix you and me, it's a done thing. But to make everybody willing, as I said, last 39 years, I thought, who would refuse to be ecstatic? Who would not want to be blissful? But people are so deeply invested in their miseries. How much ever you do, they hang on to their miseries. This is because still life is compulsive. It's not become conscious. A human being, so we don't refer to any other creature as a being, only to this one, because this is supposed to know how to be. If you know how to be, what is the problem? There's absolutely no problem with this.
Well, I think that I have to end it there because that was actually my favorite thing that I heard you say.
And I want all of you, people like you, young people who have influence over the next generation, to take up this conscious planet. This is not my organization, this is not my business. I think this is the business of this generation, to create conscious human beings and in turn create a conscious planet so that we will leave something that we are proud of for the next generation. Otherwise, we are leaving it like a disaster. We are leaving the world like it's been ravaged by war. We call this business.
Business, yes. Do you have any last words of wisdom for my audience?
I'm going to live for some more time. Why do you want me to tell the last words right now?
You're right, you have a very good point. Never mind, we'll have you back another time.
My beard may be gray, but I'm living for some more time, Jenny.
Yes, you are, yes, you are. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
He could not do his best because he couldn't handle the situations and the realities of life at the age of 37, what he should be. I think Messi handled that situation of his age gracefully, and I think it paid off for him. And it's not all in his hands, the team and the situations, the opposition teams, many things are there. So if you want to see in the finals, is Mbappe better or Messi better? Mbappe is way better. He's playing like Pelé, all right? But things didn't work. Things didn't work, he's only 23. He's moving faster than almost anybody in the entire tournament, but couldn't win. In the end, that's all that matters. This is what you need to understand. What we are doing in our lives is not all ours. Many things are there. It's happened to you many times, you hit the tree but it went on the green. Oh, that's how you win. It happens. You think you hit a great shot but it bounced somewhere else. You hit a bad shot but it came back where it should be. Well, all these factors are there. So don't go looking for luck hitting the trees. No, you do your best. What happens is not all yours. That goes for even the best champions of champions, all right? No question. So it's not right at any time that you don't pose this question even to yourself, am I better than the guy who's sitting next to you? Don't do this. What is the best I can do, that's all.